about that. Internet. I can't even call OBS on that one. My internet, like, died a hot minute. Meow. Meow, indeed. Meow. It is I am not bald! Stop it! Oi. No, not bald. Don't make me wag my finger at you and make it glitch out and stuff. No. The cats are something my members can do for fun via that chat command that Kevlar threw out. They are available on every screen. That was kind of a good place to die, though, I won't lie. If we were gonna die on any part of the book, at least it was like just before we started a new chapter. And not halfway through a sentence or something. Ah! Owie! Did you definitely hear it, or did it not do its thing? But I definitely heard the bonk. I don't know if you guys did. It's very annoying to make sure you guys heard the bonk. Oh, there we go. Botrix has done its thing and been like, hey, I'm streaming again. Things and stuff and stuff and things and things and stuff. Okay, anyway, let's continue reading. First drink. Then read. So let's find out what kind of a market the mycelium is. It does sound a little bit mushroomy. The large building at the northeast corner of the forum was a provisions market. Oh, so this is specifically provisions. All the others were not provisions, maybe. I don't know. The sort of called mycelium. Why does the thumbnail shouldn't say part 2? Annoying. Probably because I forgot to change it. Even though I turned on my PC and I changed, I made the thumbnail and then I probably forgot to upload. I need to do, yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that. No, I need to do some house cleaning on my thumbnails. Because I think that this thumbnail should actually be part 4 rather than part 3, because I think I put part 2 on the other one. Yeah. It's been part 2 for 2 streams now, basically. Oh well. That's future me's problem. I'm gonna put that as a note for myself. Thumbnail. I need to change my Limbus one from last week as well, because I repeated that one. Thumbnail. House. Keeping. Welcome back, Dread Excalibur. Welcome back to the mycelium! The mycelium, not the mycelium. I think I'm pronouncing it. It's the mycelium. Less mushroomy than you would expect. The name Pantheon, once applied to it, is now abandoned, and there is no longer the slightest doubt regarding its purpose, which is indicated by its general plan. The remains found in the course of the excavations and the paintings upon the wall. Such markets where provisions, especially of the finer and more expensive kinds, were sold, and in which a cook also might be secured, without doubt exists in the Greek cities after the time of Alexander. From the Greeks, as in the case of the basilica, the Romans took both the name and the architectural type. The first mycelium in Rome was built in 179 BC, in connection with the enlargement of a fish market. In later times, as we learn from inscriptions, others were constructed in Rome, and in various cities of Italy and in the provinces. The mycelium built by Nero is shown on one of the coins of this emperor. It agrees in essential points with our building having stalls or shops of more than 1 story in height. And at the middle of the... It's a mall! It's a mall! It's a shopping centre! Did it crash? My internet kind of had a hiccup. And it didn't come back fast enough for the stream to connect. So, yeah, that was a crash. My stream crashed, yes. But we're back, it's fine. It agrees in the essential points with our building having stalls or shops of more than 1 story in height, and at the middle of the court a structure with a dome-like roof. The central structure, the Thoros, is mentioned by Varro as an essential part of a mycelium. I really need to stop calling it a mycelium. That's too mushroomy. But its use is known to us only from the remains found at Pompeii. This is only part 2 of the stream. It's only crashed once. We're fine. Everything is fine. Provisions, yeah. So provisions normally is basically like general day-to-day life stuff. So, like you said, food, maybe furniture and things like that as well as like lamp oil, clothes, day-to-day life things. But it seems in modern terms this is a shopping centre / mall. The plan of our building is simple. A court in the shape of a rectangle, slightly longer than its board, is surrounded by a deep colonnade on 4 sides. In the middle, 12 bases arranged so as to form a dodecagon. I wanted to call it a dodecagon. A dodecahedron. Support an equal number of columns on which a roof rested. Underneath was a rectangular basin in the pavement, from which a covered drain led towards the southeast corner. Under this roof, the fish that had been sold were scaled, the scales being thrown into the basin, where they were found in great quantity. Behind the colonnade on the south side, an opening into it, was a row of market stalls or small shops, 3 on the plan. 3? So here, here's all the shops. So you go in, like, and that even looks like where you'd have the stairs and everything. It looks like a bloody shopping centre. The OG Hot Topic. Nah, Hot Topic would be one of these small shops down here, but it would have an OG Hot Topic in there, most likely. Above these were upper rooms, in front of which was a wooden gallery, but there was no stairway, and apparently the shopkeeper, who wished to use his second story, had to provide himself with a ladder. No, so this is the mycelium, so this would be the circly bit in the middle, I imagine. You'd have the stairs. I imagine there used to be a roof on it, maybe? View of the mycelium in the foreground, part of the stylobate. In the middle ground, remains of the Thoros. In the background, at the middle walls and pedestal in front of the Imperial Chapel. At the right, market room. At the left, banquet room. There were shops also on the north side, but they opened up upon the street bounding the mycelium on the north. A southern exposure for the shop fronts seemed to have been avoided on account of the damage that the heat in summer might cause to the stock. In the shops on this street, whether in those belonging to the building or those on the opposite side, is not stated. The excavators found charred figs, chestnuts, plums, grapes, fruit in glass vessels, lentils, grain, loaves of bread, and cakes. A few shops behind the portico in front faced toward the forum. A large market room, four. This is a large market room down here. Opened on the colonnade at the southeast corner, the entrance being divided by 2 columns along 3 sides runs a corner for meat and fish, the surface of which slopes towards the middle of the room. That the fish were sold on the left side is plain from the special arrangement made to carry off the water. The floor behind the counter here was raised and sloped toward the rear, where a gutter connected with it, and passing across the room led under the counter on the south side into the street. In the little room or pen on the northeast corner of the colonnade, 8. So that's northeast, so 6, 5, 7, where's 8? I don't know where 8 is. 8 pen. Can't see an 8. There's this. But I think that's more 3. I think they're all 3s. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. There's 6, 5, 4. There's 8. There's 8. I see 8. It's here. This tiny little bit here. Now, hold on. Remains of skeletons of sheep were found. Such animals, then, were sold here alive instead of buying the flesh of slaughtered animals. Many purchasers no doubt preferred to obtain the victim, which could be sacrificed as an offering to the household gods before it was used for food. The paintings on the walls of the colonnade were among the best examples of the latest Pompeii style. Above the base are large black panels with a broad red border. Between them, in the vertical spaces separating the border of one panel from that of the next, are light and fantastic architectural designs in yellow on a white ground, the parts designed to appear furthest from the eye being in green and red. In this way, a rich development of architectural forms is united in a consistent and effective decorative scheme, with large panels suitable for painting. Along the edges of the black panels run conventional plant designs. In the middle are paintings symmetrically arranged in a series in which a pair of floating figures alternates with a mythological scene enclosed in a painted frame. Among the mythological pictures are Ulysses before Penelope, who does not recognize him, Io guarded by Argus, and Medea plotting the murder of her children. The whole arrangement is an excellent taste, while the execution is careful and delicate. The treatment of the upper part of the wall is especially worthy of note. Generally in walls of the 4th style, the portion above the large panels is filled with airy architectural designs upon a white, or at least a bright ground. In this instance, the fantastic architectural forms in the spaces between the black panels are continued upward to the ceiling, and in the midst of each group a standing figure is painted on a blue ground, a girl with utensils for sacrifice, a satyr playing the flute. But the spaces above the panels are completely filled with representations of the things exposed for sale. Unfortunately, only a few of these pictures remain. One contains birds, some alive, some killed and dressed. In other, different kinds of fish are seen, and a third presents a variety of vessels in which wine and other liquids could be kept. This departure from the usual style of decoration, strikingly suggestive, can be explained only as having a direct reference to the purpose of the building. Very good. A picture of Medea planning to murder her children is an excellent... Well, I heard they... Oh, trying to make a good pun here for Medea and her kids. I heard they were quite the feast. I heard they had quite the feast. I heard they had quite the delicacies, so I guess the food, it might make people hungry. In 2 small pictures in the black panels of the north entrance, Cupids took the place of men. The Pomeranians were very fond of the representation of cupids as engaged in human occupation. It gave opportunity for the poetic treatment of everyday life. You're telling me they liked chibis? Which was thus carried over into fairyland. They like cute chibis doing cute things. That's what you're telling me. So, one pictures sprightly little winged little figures are celebrating the festival of Vesta. The tutelary divinities of millers and bakers, who on this day, just as appears in the painting, wreathed in with garlands their mills, and much bellabored asses. Okay, we love chibis too. No, not like that. We don't eat chibis. Chibis are bad for your health. Do not eat chibis. They're too sweet. Okay. That once a year were thus admitted to share in the festival celebrations of their masters. The reference to trade in bread and flour is obvious. Belabored. That makes a lot more sense, thank you. In the other picture, the cupids are plating and selling wreaths, in view of the extensive use of garlands at banquets and on gala days. The inference is warranted that they too were sold in this market. In the market room for meat and fish, there is another interesting picture representing the local divinities of Pompeii, personifications of the Sarno of the coast and of the country round about, suggesting that here the products of the sea, the river, and the land might be obtained. A statue of Octavia, sister of Augustus, found in the chapel of Macellum. She is represented in an attitude of worship. Besides the rooms thus far considered, which served a practical end, we find in the Macellum 2 other rooms which gave the building a religious character, and placed it under the special protection of the imperial house. One at the middle of the east end, 5, is a chapel consecrated to the worship of the emperors. The floor is raised above that of the rest of the building, and the entrance is reached by 5 steps leading up from the rear of the colonnade. On the pedestal against the rear wall, in 4 niches at the sides, were statues, of which only the 2 of the niches of the right have been found. These represent Octavia, the sister of Augustus, and Marsilius, the hope of Augustus and of Rome, whose untimely death was lamented by Virgil in those touching verses in the 6th book of Aeneid. An arm with a globe was also found, doubtless belonging to the statue of an emperor that stood on the pedestal at the rear. The chapel contains no altar. Sacrifice was probably offered on a portable bronze coal pan in the form of a tripod. Several beautiful examples of these movable altars have been found, and there are numerous representations of them in reliefs and in wall paintings. Ah! Transportable altars. How useful. Got that attitude of worship. Hey, maiden, welcome. The stream died while you were gone. And I started yawning, therefore I cannot stop. Oh, and I decided I want to research some cults that happened around this time of history. That's a relief. Yeah, like Deebus. The mycelium is the mycelium in its present. Oh my god! Come on, brain. The mycelium in its present form was, at the time of the eruption, by no means an ancient building. While finished, and no doubt in use at the time of the earthquake of 63, it had been built not many years before, in the reign of Claudius or of Nero, in the place of an older structure which dated from the pre-Roman period. The earlier mycelium, I really need to stop making it sound so mushroomy, of which scanty but indubitable traces remain, could not have contained a chapel for the worship of the emperors. This was probably introduced into the plan of the structure at the time of the rebuilding. The most reasonable supposition is that the chapel was built in honor of Claudius, and that his statue with the globe as a symbol of world sovereignty stood on the pedestal at the rear, while in the niches at the left were his wife Agrippina and adopted son Nero. You can do it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do it. Transportable altars. This could drive through churches. Yes! Churches on wheels. Probably, yes. They did. So, like, the next emperor that came along would probably be like, bro, I want to be worshipped too, and then he'd be put on there as well. We can hardly doubt that Claudius was worshipped in Pompeii during his lifetime. It is known from the inscriptions that even before the death of Claudius, Nero was honoured with the services of a special priest. That Octavia and Marcellus, another mother with a son who was heir to the throne, should be placed opposite Agrippina and Nero, was quite natural. Claudius, who through his mother Antonina, was the grandson of Octavia, had great pride in his relationship, through which alone he was connected with the family of Augustus, and from Octavia, Agrippina and Nero also were descended. The former as a daughter of Germanicus, Claudius's brother, and the latter through his father, Gnaeus Dominatus, who was the son of the older daughter of Octavia, also called Antonia. This thought was suggested by the gripping of Octavia and Marcellus with Agrippina and Nero. Octavia's descendants are now on the throne, as Augustus intended that they should be, and Nero is the pride and hope of the emperor and the Roman people, as once Marcellus was. Okay, hello maidens friends. Don't worry, I don't bite. But you could also look. If you're feeling shy, there is nothing wrong with looking. You do whatever makes you happy, okay? We're chill. IRL means really big library. The room at the left of the Imperial Chapel, with a wide entrance divided by 2 columns. No! No biting! No biting! We got a raid! Hi, Tala! Are you ready to learn about Pompeii? We're currently learning about the Marcellus. The Marcellum. It was the shopping centre. It was the mall. We are learning. Indubitably. The room at the left of the Imperial Chapel, with a wide entrance divided by 2 columns, was also consecrated to the worship of the emperors. It contained a low altar shown on the plan of peculiar shape. A slab of black stone rests on 2 marble steps. It has a raised rim. Meow! That didn't distract me at all. About the edge, with a hole in one corner. Evidently, this is an altar for drinking offerings. I managed to keep focus that time. In this room, sacrificial meals were partaken of, at which the long estrade at the right, like a counter nearly 3 feet high, was perhaps used as a serving table. Such meals had an important place among the functions of Roman colleges of priests, and some priesthood connected with the worship of the emperors apparently had its place of meeting here. But whether this was the college of the Severi Augustales, composed of freedmen, or the more aristocratic priesthood modelled after the Soldales Augustales at Rome, cannot be determined. The purpose of the niche in the corner, with the platform in the front of it approached by steps, is unknown. We learn about Tesco of ancient times. Kind of are right now, not gonna lie. In this room, also, there were 2 pictures containing cupids, because they love their chibbies! In one, they were represented as drinking wine and playing the lyre. In the other, as engaged in acts of worship. Both appropriate decorative subjects for a room intended for sacrificial banquets. Can you imagine? I did come back, Wallace Lovecraft. My stream did die a hot minute, not long after you arrived. I appreciate you coming back. Thank you. And an art gallery, yes. I love the idea of historians finding, like, shopping centres and seeing, like, the mascots and stuff and going like, oh yes, the cupids. It's like, no, that's a mascot. That's a mascot. Oh yes, the sacred chibi. No, that's a mascot. Because that's what these cupids are to me. He can say that they have a purpose or anything, but that's a mascot if I've ever seen one. The mycelium was entered from 3 sides. At the front, facing the forum, was a portico. Wait, I hadn't read this one. No, I had read that one. I lie. I couldn't tell which. The mycelium was entered from 3 sides. At the front, facing the forum, was a portico consisting of 2 orders of white marble columns, one above the other supporting a roof. Fragments of Ionic or Corinthian columns belonging to the lower order and of the well-proportioned intermediate entablature have been preserved. Statues stood at the front of the columns, as also at the ends of a party of walls between the shops at the rear of the portico. Why do I need to say sorry after that? I don't need to say sorry. That's what you're here for. Besides the 2 columns of little vestibule at the entrance, between the 2 doors was a small shrine, and here too was a statue. A statue of who? A statue of what? The difference in direction between the front of the mycelium and the side of the forum is concealed by increasing the depth of the shops from south to north, so that the depth of the portico remained the same. The room at the extreme right, being so shallow that it could not be used as a shop, was made into a shrine. The image or images set up in it must have been very small. What divinities were worshipped here, unless the street lares, cannot be conjectured. I want the conjecture. I want to know. There is another entrance on the north side, and a third near the southeast corner. In the latter are steps, And at the left, as you come in, is a small niche under which 2 serpents were painted. This humble shrine was probably dedicated to the presiding divinity of the building, Genius Macely. The colonnade of Macellum was thrown down by the earthquake of 63. So there's a statue of Marcellus, son of Octavia, found in the chapel. So that's Marcellus, everyone. Everyone say hi to Marcellus. Hi, Marcellus. Bye, Marcellus. At the time of the eruption, the stylobate on which the columns rested and the gutter in front of it had been renewed, but only the columns, columns on the north side and a part of those on the west side had been set up again. Both the columns and entablature have entirely disappeared in consequence of excavations made in ancient times. You made Marcellus feel very welcome. Thank you, everyone. That's kind of perfect timing. So we're going to do the Sanctuary of the City of Lies. Next time. Let me just double check, because now, whenever my stream gets, like, interrupted, then I'm like, wait, how long have I been streaming for? What is life? We've actually streamed for a little bit extra today, because I wanted to see if we get to the end of the chapter, and we did! But I have bad news for you. Marcellus doesn't go here. God. He goes to the Macellum. Or he goes to see his mummy Octavia all the time. That's, yeah, so this is the son. And then we have the pic. That's his mum. Mummy and son pictures. Lovely. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you have not already, I would highly appreciate it. If you are on YouTube, if you give this stream a cheeky follow. No, wait, words. Come on. You can. I can speak. I believe in myself. Like and subscribe. Maybe even share if you want to. That would be lovely. And if you're on Twitch, give the channel a cheeky follow. He's turned into stone. I know. And then he was a statue. And then he's in the museum in Naples, I imagine, if you want to go see him for realsies. Les or Larez. Larez is fun. I am not bald! Who is starting this? No! Not bald. Luscious. Blonde. Locks. Not bald. No. Oh no, I need to write one more page of notes. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. And Tella's finished reading too. Let me see if I can find another reading stream for you. Not bald. Means, no, I do not protest too much. I am insulted about the accusations of boldness. I am bold, as in I'm a bold person to be streaming, but I'm not bold, as in I have a shiny head. No. No. But anyway. If you've done all the liking and the subscribing and the following and all that stuff, if you did enjoy this, I do this every Sunday. So I'll be back with more Pompeii next week. Potentially more Pompeii next week. I have room to do my 5 streams next week. So, yeah, I'll be streaming a fair amount next week. The first one next will be Ace Attorney tomorrow around similar time. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. Because I finished all my exclusive streams for the month, so I'm free again. So maybe we'll get another Pompeii stream in. And I might do some more arts and crafts. Because I did an arts and crafts stream for an exclusive membership. And I had a lot of fun. I kind of want to do it. Yeah, I'm streaming on a bank holiday. My evening is free. We can do that. But, yeah, that is all. So, I will see you then. So, if you've done all those wonderful things to support me and you would like to support me some more and you don't know, you got some extra cash, you're like, hey, this VTuber's cool. What if I gave her money? That would be lovely. You could do so in many ways. There are many reasons to support me. You can do it. You can get YouTube membership. You can get YouTube membership. With YouTube membership, you get emotes, exclusive streams, Discord channel, merch discounts, and chat commands. You could go through Patreon. I wish I could give Patreons chat commands. I probably can, actually. I should do that. Patreon should get chat commands. I will improve that. Cause yeah, bold, not bald. Bold, bald, bold, bald. Very different. There is the Kofi, where if you like my emotes, you can commission me to draw some for you. And last but not least, my merch store, where you can get ebooks, first edition copies of books that I've written, a notebook, a pillow, and some stickers, and crochet potatoes. There are other crochet goods on Etsy, on Briony Rose Crafts. I also made a game. I made a game called Little Red and the Baba Yaga, which is available on itch.io for $3. It has 60 endings. It is a little visual novel, and I hope you enjoy. Other than that, that's all I got for you. So thank you so much for coming. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you everyone in chat. Thank you anyone who lurked. Thank you anyone who watches the VOD. I really appreciate you coming and enjoying my content, no matter which way you decide to enjoy it. And I will see you tomorrow. I had fun. I hope you've had fun. This has been Briony Rose Smith, Land of Library. Good